I don't know how I end up sometimes forgetting to hit the record button. Because of that, I lost all of the initial footage of unboxing these adorable little snowman Christmas cards that are diamond art. Just pretend like you just watched me open them. There are 12 cards, and they come with 12 square envelopes, and these are about, I think, 6¼ inches. And these cards measure just about 6 inches by 6 inches. And this was the one that I had finished on the video, which I started with, which I thought was just adorable. Some of these drills, these special drills, are just so pretty. This big one in particular, and all of them are shiny, but it turned out very, very cute. This one, as you can see, says Merry Christmas, and there, oops, I forgot the little mouth. I'm going to have to do that really quick. But to start off with, and what I had talked about before, there are 2 cards that had writing on them. There is this one, and there's this one. This one I did on the video. This one I did not on the video, but I did point out a couple of things. Number one is these words on this particular card. Now, I don't know, maybe they wouldn't bother anybody but me, but they don't mean anything. They're not actual words, which happens an awful lot if you do AI imageries. And the reason why I say that is because I use AI a lot when I am making my book covers, or when I want to create a very specific image that I can't find on Kittl or Canva or Creative Fabrica that I use in some of my Etsy store designs for shirts and mugs. I love mugs. Anyway, so I don't know if I'm going to leave those as is, or if I'm going to find some wood paper cardstock and create my own words on these signs, or I may just leave them. I don't know. The other thing is, see right here, this entire part is sticky. See, this is not sticky, and this is sticky. So it makes me wonder if there maybe shouldn't have been, I don't know, some additional little gems. And what I do when that happens is I just, if I find, I think these were like number one. And these ones haven't been opened. I don't want to use that. But I know I had, there's some ones. So what I was doing, if I came across that, is just put a few extra diamonds on there. I mean, it's sticky, you might as well do that. You could do it on every single one of the snowflakes if you wanted to, even though there's no numbers there. What I usually do, if I end up with a part that is sticky on a card that I'm not going to finish, meaning put a coat of some type of sealer on it, and I don't like to do that for cards, is use a little bit of, like, I know, I think some people use baby powder. I just use cornstarch, and then that'll take the sticky off, a little bit of powder, and then if you brush it off, you can get most of it off. There might be a better clear powder solution, but this way I don't feel that sticky as much because I've covered them up with diamonds. So that's always an option. The other thing that really bothered me on these cards, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do about it, but I'll show you the rest of the cards, like I said, here in a minute. But the backs are really nice. They say, obviously, Merry Christmas. But when you open up the card, there is this. It says best wishes, and this looks to me like a springy or summery type of card. So I don't know if whoever made these cards got confused. and stamp the wrong picture or image on the inside of a Christmas card, but they're obviously Christmas cards. You know, if this would have been here, that would have been perfect. I looked for some stickers, I guess I want to say, on eBay, thinking that maybe there would be some clear stickers even that maybe had a wreath, a Christmas wreath. And then I would have even just used the best wishes on there and left it. Or I would have found a sticker that would have been large enough to cover this whole piece up that was Christmassy. But I couldn't find anything. All the stickers were pretty small. And this is probably at least 5 inches. I mean, yeah, I mean, because there's probably a half an inch on each side. So this piece is a 5-inch sticker. I mean, I would have to make my own stickers, and I may end up doing that because this doesn't look Christmassy. So that to me is a downside on these cards. Would I still purchase them? Probably. Because I think these little snowmen are adorable. I can't help it. Even my husband came through, and I had finished this one, except for obviously that little smile, which I got to do right away here before I forget it again. He looked at this one, and I was working on this one. I had already finished this one, and he said, "Those are cute." And that's coming from my 67-year-old husband. The sticky on here, which I will talk about when I start another one, but I'm going to finish this really quick before I forget it. And I've got my gems all over the place, kind of scattered because I had already filmed, and then was getting ready to upload it to my iCloud so I could get it onto my iPad so I could use InShot and get it edited, is when I discovered there was no video to edit. Alrighty. There's a little hair. You can't live in my house and not have a animal hair, I think, on something. But the Merry Christmas on here obviously says Merry Christmas. It's very clear. Versus this maybe being little towns or something like that. And if, like I was starting to say, when AI puts out an image and you want some words or you want some signs and you don't tell them what to put on the signs, and even then sometimes it just doesn't recognize it. It won't do it. I mean, you got to be careful. I mean, everybody knows that's probably tried to generate humans or animals. Sometimes you get animals with 3 or 4 eyes or an extra foot, or some people just look creepy. I mean, they just look creepy. Their faces look creepy. One side might look great, the other side doesn't. They might have 6 fingers on one hand, and one could be really, really long. I mean, you just never know what you're going to get with AI. So that's what makes me think that these may be AI generated and then made into these cards. But anyway, so here is another one, which, like I said, I think these are just adorable. And then this one. And I really love doing these diamond art projects because of these great big, miscellaneous drills. I just love doing them. I absolutely love doing them. It doesn't take much time to do a card. One of these small projects. I mean, you can do all of these cards in a weekend. And I know that, for me, I'm kind of careful who I send them to. I mean, I really would like to send them to somebody who might want to save them. They could put these in a 6x6 frame, and you have a little Christmas picture. You could, too, if it was a family member. You could just send them a frame when you send the Christmas card. A little 6x6, red or green frame or whatever, might match the image. But they are just adorable. I don't know if I would want to send it to somebody who is just going to, throw it away. But you never know. They may do that anyway. Yeah, send them a card, send them a frame, and then they are more than likely, to save your diamond painting. It also could serve as a little Christmas gift for somebody, too. I'm going to put these black ones away. And I think I said before, all of the drills are shiny. I mean, every single one of them, they are just really, really pretty. So even these ones that would be not like these, obviously really shiny, but they have this iridescent glow. They're just so pretty. So I'm going to get started on this little house, which I had wanted to do next anyway. And I could tell very quickly that, number one, the films came off very easily. Sometimes you'll notice that when you get a diamond painting or cards or whatever you're using, that whoever did it put the plastic on wrong, and it really is hard to get off of your image. And sometimes when you do that, it can almost feel like it takes off some of the sticky. And that was certainly not the case here. The thing that I would say right away is the sticky on these is good, but not spectacular. So I don't know, what they did. It was nice that there's no extra sticky much in places that it's not supposed to be. I think I told you in a past video that I'm just going to start with the one, since I had already started with the one. Since I already got them out, that I was having issues with the Black Widow spider. I think I kind of told you guys that in one of the other videos. And it was really has been freaking me out. I'm just saying. I don't want to go to the basement. I don't want to do laundry. I don't want to do anything because I'm pretty freaked out about that spider. And, they always say if there's one, there's probably more. And so now I'm really freaking out. Well, I had been purchasing those glue traps because, I have animals and I didn't want to use any kind of big pesticide. But also at the same time, I think I said before, if you fume or whatever that is that they call it, the basement, then all the spiders will just come upstairs, and that I didn't want worse than knowing that there was some in the basement. Now, I had been cleaning in the basement, and I cleaned out from behind the dryer, which, stuff just ends up behind the washer and the dryer. It just does. And so I was cleaning that out, and I could have very easily disrupted a nest, which is why I started to see her where I saw her, which was back behind the washing machine. And, chances are if it had been anyplace else, I would have been able to kill her pretty quickly. But I couldn't get to her. So she was able to hide. And I think I told you I was throwing Clorox and all kinds of stuff on her. And yeah, it didn't kill her. So, or there's another one. So anyway, I get dog food and treats from Chewy. It's just easier. They're great big bags. I don't have to go stand in line at the vet's office to get it because it's prescription diet mostly. But I have kind of started using some Bil-Jac, which is really great dog food, by the way, and mixing it with some of the prescription for their digestive system. But anyway, I opened up the box of dog food that I had gotten. Now, here's the thing. I knew that there was probably a spider in there, or potentially a black spider in there. And the reason why is because my cat was trying to catch it. And it crawled inside that box. Now, whether it came with the box or whether this big Black Widow came from downstairs to get into the dog food box, is also a possibility. But the fact remains is that there was this spider now upstairs and not in the basement. Now, here's the thing. The bag of dog food that came from Chewy was sliced open. So, sometimes when they get food off of pallets or items off of pallets, they will accidentally slice whatever the item is in the pallet or on the pallet when they shouldn't. Well, they put an open bag of dog food in that box. So whether it came with the box because the dog food bag was, like I said, sliced open, or whether this spider downstairs smelled it and came upstairs to get it, that's a potential as well. But my dog food is out all the time, and I've never seen one around the dog food. So it makes me wonder, did this spider come with it, and did the original Black Widow come with a box of dog food prior that I didn't know about? So I now open my boxes outside the house. But anyway, if I knew that there was a potential for a spider to be in that box, now common sense would have dictated that I would have taken that box outside and opened it outside. But I didn't. I kept thinking, well, I know there could be a spider in here. I'm cleaning up in the front room. I'm cleaning up in the front room. I'm just going to open it and, well, if I saw it, I would probably just kill it, right? Well, when I opened it, it flipped out from the lid. I mean, flew. So where it went, I don't know. So even the box of dog toys that I have sitting over there, it could have went in there. I had a bin sitting in the living room that I had been going through or needed to finish of old, very old work basket craft magazines. I mean, we're talking old here, 60s, from the 60s. So everything went outside. I called my husband and I said, you need to pick up these bins and get them outside because I don't want it in my house and in case she got in there. Well, she could have also went back behind the television, which is a console kind of big unit that the TV sits on. I'm thinking, oh my God, now I have to be paranoid about upstairs. So I went and got, as I was starting to say, going back to the sticky, I went and bought a ton of glue traps. And I already had some peppermint essential oil mixed in a bottle that I used to kind of spray things around. And I also went and bought some fresh ultrasonic spider traps, ultrasonic pest plugins. Now, there are a lot of places that say that they don't work, and there are a lot of places that say they do work. Now, I will tell you that I think I always had the Bellhauer or the Viking Decker, I don't even remember now, but I always used to have those plugged in nearly every room because I flippin' hate spiders. And so they kind of have gotten old probably over the years. I don't think I've bought any new ones in a very long time, and some of them probably didn't work, and some you probably just throw away after a while, and then I just didn't replace them. So I ordered 12 of them from Amazon. I'll put the link here just in case you're interested. But I started at the top floor and started to work my way down. And I haven't got down to the basement yet. But anyway, because I won't go down there unless my husband goes with me, and he sleeps till noon or whatever. Just freaky stuff. So anyway, I bought a whole ton of glue traps. And some of them, I mean, they were just different. I was desperate. I just ordered some and had them delivered because I wanted them now to get started on putting them around the television because I was freaked out about that spider. And then, of course, I got to make sure they're out of the way where my cat and my dogs don't try to get to these glue traps. But I was looking for traps that had bait on them or a lure on them, something that might attract a spider to the trap, because over the years, not really have I had the greatest of luck with glue traps. So some of them were open. They weren't the ones that fold up into kind of looks like a little box with the sides open or whatever. They were about this big, square, rectangle actually. And I had 2 left. I didn't know where I wanted to put them because they're open. You have to be careful, otherwise they're going to stick to everything. So I had 2 of them sitting on my table, and somehow or another my black sweater, got onto those 2 glue traps. And I didn't just get the spider traps. No, I got the big mouse ones, because those were the ones that, man, I want that big spider to stick in there, not taking any chances. I'm telling you, my sweater stuck on those 2 traps. And I thought, well, I'm going to pull my sweater off of there, No, it did not work that way. And I should have wore gloves. If I'd wore gloves, I would have been in a world of better situation. I'm just saying. Hindsight again there, like opening the box outside, something that you would just think would be just, common sense, but you don't go there until after you're done. So I'm thinking I'm pulling that mouse glue trap off of my sweater. I tugged and pulled with all of my might, and I could not get those glue traps off of my sweater. And by the time I was done, if a mouse got on there, there's no way a mouse is going to get off there. And if it's small enough, it's just going to stay there. If you were trying to catch something bigger and it got stuck in one of those traps, it would just carry it around and collect everything that it happened to touch. That was so sticky that you were not getting it off. And I had it all over my hands. Everywhere on my hands, between my fingers. It was ridiculous. Okay, so here's another thing too. All right. You just can't wash that off. So I thought, okay, well, I'm allergic to adhesive too, so I was thinking, okay, well, this might not be good either. I got to get this off as quickly as I can. So I then went to alcohol, because alcohol will sometimes break the adhesive. So if you get like a glass jar or something and you want to get the tag off the bottom, because it's just sometimes they're just really stuck on there, you can use a little bit. You can peel off as much as you can, and then use an alcohol wipe or alcohol on a little piece of tissue or paper towel, and it will usually get that adhesive off. The rest of the sticker will come off pretty easily. So I tried that, and I did that for a very long time, trying to get it off. Nope, would not get all the glue off my hand. So then I thought, okay, well, what do I have in the house? And I kept thinking, well, I know that baking soda and vinegar will get all of the crud off of my stovetop and not hurt the stovetop. Maybe I should do that. So I mixed me up some white vinegar and baking soda. And scrubbed my hands with that for quite a while. No, that didn't get it off either. And so at that stage, I'm like feeling a little desperate. So what I Googled it. Now, if I'd have just Googled it first, kind of like taking the box outside, right? Okay, if I'd have Googled it first, this would have been great. So Google told me, or whether AI generated the answer, I don't know. Cooking oil. So if you put, it said, a little bit of cooking oil on your hands and let it sit for a few minutes, it'll take the glue right off. Because literally, I Googled how to get mousetrap glue off your hands, and it came right up like somebody else was an idiot like I was and had done it before. And I didn't put just a little bit on my hands. I'm telling you, I slathered my hands with Wesson canola oil, because that's what I had. I have olive oil too, but I didn't want to waste the olive oil. And I had the Wesson cooking oil. So I used the Wesson cooking oil on my hands, let it sit for a few minutes, and then I just kind of started rubbing. and little balls of glue started coming off all over my hands. It worked that fast within just a few minutes. So I did that, and I had the softest hands too, by the way. Wesson canola oil is just a really nice softener. Anyway, the glue came right off. I washed my hands a couple of times really good. And between everything that I used, I had the cleanest hands I think I've ever had and the softest. But the glue came off, and, hindsight. So if you ever get mousetrap glue on your hands, cooking oil. But I thought about, now what am I going to do about my sweater? And I just kind of felt like it was a lost cause. I just didn't want to deal with it, so I just threw the sweater away. My favorite black sweater is now in the trash because I was an idiot and left them open on the table to begin with. But if I had just taken the box outside, I probably wouldn't have went that crazy trying to get some remedies. The dog's snoring again. Lucy snores. She snores every time. Of course, I guess they just sleep all the time. Dogs just sleep a lot. But the sticky on here, it doesn't feel very sticky to your fingers. I mean, you can tell that it is sticky, but these seem to be sticking pretty well on here. Man, she's snoring. She's got a deviated septum, and so she doesn't breathe very well to begin with. My bigger dog. I hope everybody had a really nice Thanksgiving. The holidays are always wonderful times of the year. They can be stressful too, but family is always really important. And getting together, like that is just something very special. Finish this house off the video and then come back and show it to you when I'm done with it. And then I may work on those others and start the Christmas Carol. I finished the house, and I don't know if you can even see how shiny this is, but it is so pretty. I'm very pleased with how it turned out. I may have to keep this one and put a little frame on it and put it up. That is 3 down. And 9 more to go. Thanks for watching. Take care, stay safe, and be kind.